everybody. We're joining Phoebe again for chapter 6. She witnessed Charlie's act against Shiana's puppy, and she also may have been spotted by Lydia, Charlie's daughter. This is Phoebe's latest version of events, occurring on Friday. Phoebe liked going out in the rain. The few drivers out so early squinted through their windscreens at the road in front of them and didn't notice Phoebe darting along in her hoodie, taking lonely grey snapshots. The rain matched her mood that morning. She didn't miss Shiana or anything, but now she had nowhere to go when the house emptied out. After her walk, Phoebe sealed herself in her bedroom. Her parents had gone to work, but her brother and sister were still somewhere in the house. She kept her curtains drawn, locked the window, and worked by her desk lamp, which was really a table lamp from the lounge. She'd swapped it for the desk light her parents got her at Christmas, because the desk light hummed suspiciously as it stared down with its great eye, its metal stand bent behind it like the wings of a predator seeking prey. The powder blue table lamp sat more patiently on Phoebe's desk, silent under its shade. Phoebe tried to focus on drawing her picture of a broken fence post. The wood grain had beautiful lazy ripples, and then a length punched out, leaving a jagged border and revealing the paved-over plot behind. She could make it through the day this way. She felt so connected, she sensed her pencil travelling over the paper's weft like tiny hills. Then a storm of knocking on her door toppled her. Phoebe's sister screeched, "I know you're in there! Open up, Phoebe, before I—" Grabbing her still-damp hoodie, Phoebe opened the door. Kaylee wore jeans with more holes than a council estate fence, a bright, tight shirt, and eyeliner to match her painted-on brows. "What the hell is going on between you and Shiana Harrow?" Phoebe tugged the hem of her hoodie down mid-thigh, then wormed the sleeves over her hands. "Nothing. I'm not friends with her anymore." "Obviously," Kaylee snapped. "She's trying to get everyone to find her dog, and they all say you took it." "Why would I take her dog? I told her an old man took it." Phoebe paused, remembering. "A sort of old man. He seemed nice, though." Kaylee shook her head. "What the? Why do I talk to you? Don't you even... Hey, what's the yelling about?" Owen sauntered downstairs. He was toweling his hair off from his shower, rubbing it in all directions. It would be interesting to draw. Kaylee turned on him. "Don't you ever check Facebook?" No, I have a real life." "It's pretty bloody real when everyone's going on about how your little sister," Kaylee pointed a glossy-nailed finger at Phoebe, "lets someone's dog get stolen." "Only vile people go on about it," Phoebe said. "You shouldn't care what they think." Sometimes Phoebe herself managed not to care. The rest of the time, she suspected she'd be better off dead. Kaylee raised her voice again. "I have to care what people think. Some of us aren't complete losers who gave up on the world." Owen swatted his towel in her direction. "Jesus, give it a rest. She's just a kid." "It's easy for you." Kaylee teetered away from his soggy weapon. "You're out of school, so you don't have to deal with it. I'm only 2 years above her, and the girl she's pissed off is, like, super popular. You know Shiana Harrow? That pretty blonde girl in Phoebe's year?" "I don't look at the girls in Phoebe's year," Owen guffawed. "You should tell Shiana that," Phoebe muttered into the neck of her hoodie. "She thinks everyone's always looking at her." Fake fingernails jabbed toward Phoebe again. "Fix things with her," Kaylee ordered. "It wasn't my job to watch her stupid dog in the first place. She's a bully." "What's she bully you for?" Owen asked. It might have been a friendly question. His tone sounded light. Phoebe wasn't sure, so she said, "Please don't go out today. Just do things here. I hate being on my own." Kaylee looked at her phone. "I'm meeting the girls in 5 minutes. You do what I said, though. Your life will be hell if you don't." She left with a final scowl. "You'll be fine without us," Owen told Phoebe. "We might make noise if we're around. You wouldn't like that, would you?" "But if there's a noise then, I'd know you made it. When no one's here, the noises are scarier." Phoebe groped around for her phone. "Stay, and I'll let you see this video. It's well shocking. I haven't shown anybody, and you can decide what we do with it." He laughed. "That's okay. You can keep your little video. See you later." Fine. Phoebe would never show anyone what really happened to Shiana's dog because no one was nearly interested enough. Screw them. Back at her desk, bundled in the damp hoodie, Phoebe couldn't concentrate, waiting for the harsh sound of the front door closing. There it went. She was alone. She listened to her own breath, scared and ragged and almost foreign. She checked her phone. She might text Mum or Dad, see if they had time to say hi back. But there were already 2 texts from Shiana. Don't think you can hide or get away with this. I want my dog back. You're the last one who saw her, and you'll be sorry. I'm going to tell everyone at school it's your fault Nikki's gone. If you think people hated you before, just wait till school starts again, ginger bitch. Phoebe's hands shook as she deleted the texts. The phone blipped them into oblivion, like a monitor in a hospital room barely registering life. She was really alone. Her parents would tell her to keep busy, don't obsess about her problems, go talk to someone. But who? The only person who put up with Phoebe outside her family was Miss Shelley. She had been Phoebe's art teacher during years 7 and 8, before leaving to work at the special needs college, and Shiana had said that the college was open year-round. Phoebe checked bus routes on her phone. She grabbed her sketchbook and some money, she always had some, she never did anything fun to spend it on, and headed out before she could rethink her plan. She hadn't taken a bus by herself before. The nearest bus stop was at the end of their close, on the main road threading through the estate. An old lady with a wheeled bag waited too. Phoebe stared down at her sketchbook to avoid meeting her eyes. She kept the notebook cover blank, secret and undecorated. It was for practice, not for showing off. The bus arrived, several seats already full. Older people in the front, younger ones in the back. Phoebe sat behind the old people, hoping they'd be quieter, but they moaned about the weather as if cloudy skies were outrageous, and tutted about the traffic as if horse-drawn carriages would be more convenient. Their wavering voices sickened Phoebe's ears. The bus combined a low groan with a sharp, higher-pitched wheeze. It might fall apart any minute. Phoebe clutched her sketchbook to her chest and tucked herself low so she wouldn't be far from the ground when the floor split and dropped her in the road. They went over traffic-calming bumps. Phoebe had never been less calm in her life. She conjured positive words to form in bubbly letters across her mind. I'm here, surviving. She always saw thoughts. Sound wasn't allowed inside her head. Letting pictures in was bad enough. Images of herself flashed in her mind like Shiana's Instagram posts, and comments and captions popped up underneath. Here's Ginge on a chavvy bus all alone. What a loser. Look how scared she is. Phoebe shook her hood forward to hide her mutant hair color. Some of the old people got off near the hospital, a cement hulk on the inner ring road. Phoebe went there when she was little and her ear infections got out of control, shattering her eardrum. It happened twice. Nothing could hurt her like her ears could, except maybe Shiana. The bus looped around the town centre. At the train station, rust from the swirling wrought iron trim bled down concrete walls, and some distraction seeped into Phoebe. She watched the main streets slowly pass. Tudor-beamed buildings squished between intricately bricked ones, the cathedral spire in the background. Almost 1 in 3 shops were empty. She left the bus after 17 minutes. Sweaty fingers stuck to her sketchbook cover. Drizzling clouds blew over, cooling her suddenly. A sign for the college directed her past pretty brick houses with arched doors like giant keyholes, and Phoebe found herself behind a few adults with special needs. Aren't we looking forward to art class this afternoon? A woman in a squeaky raincoat urged the group along. She'd linked arms with a heavy man who panted as he walked, feet sloshing the puddles. I hope we work more on our animal pictures, another man said, looking around as he spoke, announcing to a passing dog walker, I'm making a cat picture. I love cats. And dogs. A woman with tightly curled hair limped beside them. She seemed only able to speak from one side of her mouth. I'm missing neighbours. I love neighbours. They reminded Phoebe of Nicky, that ridiculously eager dog. They thought people would take interest in them. Shut up, she wanted to growl. Don't you know everyone's just going to take the piss? No one wants people like us. When Phoebe's fear of noise overwhelmed her at school, she spent lessons in the unit where the disabled kids had to go. She was weird, but just normal enough to know how the world saw her. Most of the world, anyway. Miss Shelley must be this group's art teacher, helping them draw animals. In year 8, she had Phoebe's class paint close-ups of animal fur or scaly patterns. Phoebe had recreated a single peacock feather, each splayed strand slightly fringed and feathery itself. Miss Shelley brought in her own metallic pens for Phoebe to embellish it. She used to let Phoebe eat lunch in the art room and they'd chat. She said Phoebe had beauty locating radar and could create art from anything. Why then did she ditch Phoebe to teach cat drawing to people who'd rather watch soap operas? Phoebe veered around the adults and hurried by a gated playing field where older kids shouted and mingled. From the college car park, she followed signs to the Art and Design Technology Centre, past stone halls much posher than the concrete comprehensive school that sprawled like a monstrous, gloomy centipede beyond her estate. When she reached the arts centre, other people were standing outside the door as if they'd been locked out. Maybe it was the lunch break. Maybe Miss Shelley had new favourite students she allowed to join her for lunch. Would she even remember Phoebe? Phoebe clutched her churning stomach. If she couldn't get in during Miss Shelley's break, she'd have to walk into her classroom when it was full of students. This was stupid. Phoebe looked around for the best direction to run off. She saw a couple kissing in the courtyard. The man had dark, greying hair and a kind face. Phoebe had seen him somewhere before. The woman was pale, with swept back brown hair, nearly as tall as her partner, her shape hidden in a rain jacket. There was something weird about her. Their eyes met. Hang on, the woman didn't belong because the man was Shiana's dad. He was supposed to be with a blonde woman, skinny, really tan. Like Shiana, Mrs. Harrow would never wear a jacket that didn't cling to her figure. Shiana's father had someone else. Phoebe dashed down an alley beside the arts building, which brought her to the far side of the football pitch. She wouldn't be able to do what she'd come for, but she wasn't leaving empty-handed. Leaning on the chain-link fence around the field, Phoebe texted Shiana back, "I know something you don't. I could make your life hell too, so watch out." That's the end of chapter 6.